Hello and welcome to Lad Reviews. Not happy today. I'm doing a review of one of my favourite comedians and another one of his friends who's been in a lot of his films. It's Steve Martin and Martin Short's An Evening You Will Forget for the Rest of Your Life. And unfortunately, if you watch it, you won't forget it. And I wish I didn't watch it. And I wish I could forget it. But unfortunately, I won't. Because it was that fucking bad. I'm not going to beat around the bush with this. It's really kind of quite sad to see these two great men doing what they were doing, because it was terrible. The show is just like the title, far too long. It's just rubbish. So much so, at the end of it, they have a song about the show being too long and them having 5 more minutes to fill, and the
audience want to go home.
I wanted to go home. I was home and I still wanted to go home. What a lot of these comedians do is they get to a stage, or actors, they get to a stage in their life where they've kind of spent all of their money, they're running low on funds, or they've got nothing to give to their kids in their inheritance. So they have to do a couple of things to make some money. I mean, if you look at their IMDb pages, it's become quite sad. Steve Martin's not done a good film for a long time. Marty Short, the same really. He seems to have been a bit busier, but it's just lacking in everything. It's just them two masturbating over each other. Well, having said that, it starts with a roast. They're roasting each other.
Oh, taking a piss.
It's more like trying to roast a marshmallow over the light of your mobile phone. It's shit.
Wow, you're really angry about this, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm pissed off, so don't start today. From the roast, we have a little bit of dessert, shall we say, and this is actually the only part of the show I liked. They sat down on some chairs and they started chatting to each other about their childhood, and it's very, very brief. It's like 8, 9, 10 minutes of this 1 hour, 20-minute show, and it's by far the best bit. It's lovely to hear them talk about some real stories, some really funny moments, and I was like, that crap's out the way now. It's fine. This is going to get good. And this has happened a little bit before, and during this bit and afterwards specifically, Martin Short is basically just auditioning to get back on Broadway, it seems. Song after song after song after song after song, which just had no relevance to the show. Each segment randomly led on to the next one. There was no cohesion from one part to the next. It's like,
right, what could we do in our show? We could do this in our show.
Yeah, we could do that in the show.
And we can do that in the show.
And we can do that in the show. But together they don't really make a show.
It's fine. Throw it together. It can be kind of like a variety performance.
and that's kind of what this is, a variety show. But when you go from Martin Short stripping naked as Jesus to Steve Martin playing the banjo for 9 minutes flat, not saying a word, and just playing the banjo, this is the hand signal for playing the banjo if you didn't know. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, it was so random. And then he's joined by a string quintet, and then they carry on playing for a few more minutes. It's a comedy show, but it wasn't. It was look, these are our talents. Look how talented we are. We're still talented. We've still got it. We didn't need to know you'd still got it. I mean, I'm not being funny. Steve Martin in Planes, Trains and Automobiles, even Father of the Bride is a belting film. Those two were into the Three Amigos together with Chevy Chase, which is another classic, a family classic. Some of these films are absolutely brilliant. Steve Martin was borderline one of my heroes, and now it was just really sad to see. I'm sure they're rich enough to not have to do this, and if not, there's other ways to make money. Because this is my problem, okay? All these comedians that need to make money, they need to do this show. They're not doing this show because they want to, they're doing it because they need to. And that's the difference. A comedian who does a show because he wants to tends to be funnier than the one that needs to.
Most comedians need to do shows so they can make a living, right?
Good point. But famous ones, So he's made a good point there. Actually, a lot of people, it's their living. Of course, they've got to do these shows to make money. But I find that, celebrities that need to do it, who don't really need to do it, they're just kind of doing it to stay as affluent as they can. It tends to be a bit shit. Kevin James, for instance. Having said that, Chris Tucker was good. Dave Chappelle was good. So it's a hit and a miss. Let's say hit and a miss. This one, very much a miss. 1 star. 1 star. Don't watch this. I mean, if you're a fan of Martin Short and you like his kind of a flamboyancy and over-the-top nature, then you might like this. If you love Steve Martin, I'd give it a miss, because it did jade my opinion of Steve a little bit. I don't know why I'm praying. It's because I'm sad. Our Father, please forgive Steve Martin for this horrific piece of content. Anyway, I've been Marcus J. Richardson. Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, @LadReviews. I've been Marcus J. Richardson. Until next time, peace.